I've been struggling with my homework for days now. I decided to seek help from my teaching assistant on Piazza. I checked Piazza several times, but no answers appeared. I waited for a long time, but still, no response. It's almost the deadline of homework, and I received the answer from my teaching assistant. He told me to simply check the slides. This experience made me realize the importance of timely assistance and effective communication. 70% of students feel they don't receive timely assistance from teaching assistants. Let's work together to make sure that students receive the help they need. It's essential for academic success and student well-being.
This is the problem a lot of people are facing right now. So we have interviewed a couple of students.
My experience with TIASA has been all right. It takes about 1 or 2 days for TA response to question posted on the platform. It's okay, but honestly, it's not the most efficient.
I think coursework and Canvas are basically the same thing, but TAs and professors, normally they don't simply just use Canvas to send out the notifications, nor do the students are getting used to check out the Canvas Blackboard. We're more used to check out the email.
Yes, it's convenient. Like you can ask questions anytime, anywhere, and get an instant response. But I do have some concern, for example, about personal information security. Like I worry about the possibility of my data being leaked.
If there is a AI that could replace TA for helping my study, yeah, definitely I'll use it because I can skip the wait time and just get the answer. And sometimes TAs, like due to language barriers, maybe kind of don't get my questions.
When I asking questions that I'm not familiar with, I love the chat box can give me like a logical workflow graph. That would be really help me understand the complex concept.
With this AI, I would hope it could skip the language barrier. Like,
but for a large class, it has.
And this is the CSTA.
For a large class, it has like hundreds of students, but with only few TAs. Students tend to ask very naive questions over Piazza, and they expect the answers directly from teaching staffs. But I think one of the motivation of Piazza is to provide a platform or port for students to help with each other instead of always expecting teaching staffs to answer individual questions. Kind of promising because an AI-based tool is very useful. For example, ChatGPT, it is very helpful, and students can always post their questions over ChatGPT. You can get very professional answers from ChatGPT, and sometimes more professional than teaching staffs, and that's possible. So I think it's very promising.
Current educational platforms, they have these following problems. They are not video supported. Imagine if they can upload a video explaining how the student to set up for their final exam. It would be so helpful. And sometimes they also get unhelpful answers, like go to check the slides or go to check your code. And the response time is also very long. If there are a lot of people asking the same question, the TA needs to answer those common questions one by one for multiple times. The TA chatbot we are building is video supported. It will always give you helpful answers. And it's okay if people have repeated questions. And else the response time is very short. This is how it works. Just tap the questions here and it will give you the answer, sometimes including a video. Also starts from a specific timestamp related to your question. And it also answers questions related to the course, like when is the homework due, which is ChatGPT cannot do.
This is the chart of our product compares to other famous products on the market, including Piazza and Check, or Course Hero, ChatGPT, Duolingo Bot, and Jill Watson. So you can see that according to all the criteria we give, ChatTA is the only product that can satisfy all the requirements, including basic responses and video responses, and response based on specific course content. And we also provide course detail and fast response provided in several seconds. So that's what makes our product so unique, that it satisfies all the requirements. So here's a chart of the growth of Chinese online education market. As you can see that since 2013 to 2025, the growth is very humongous. Like you can see that to 2025, the online education market of China would increase to 700 billion. So this is a very huge market with very promising potential. So for our potential business part, first, you can see from the above chart that parents are paying huge money for their children to get good after-class tutoring and online education. So therefore, these kind of parents, we introduce in ChaTA K-12 edition. We have model embedding K-12 course content, and we also provide answers with pictures. And so therefore, this parents, they can subscribe to get the best education for their kids. Also, for the schools, we have Canvas and Blackboard, like this kind of studying platform. We could cooperate with these platforms. We can first have free model for students to attract users. And then once we reach enough users, we can have subscription mode, and then we can have advanced model. And also, we can have direct cooperation with universities, embedding their specific course content to provide them with students with university editions. Like here, we already have USC edition.
So how does ChatTA works? For example, if a student sent a question about what is data science, ChatTA will take that question, convert it into a vector, and then we'll send the vectors to our knowledge source, which is the vector database. The database store all the vectors, all the knowledge and potential answers. And it will perform a vector search. So ChatTA will compare the similarities between users' questions and all the vectors in our vector database. And it will try to find the top 10 most similar vectors. These are our potential answers. It will not just find the top most similar vectors, but also their corresponding text chunks. So after finding the top 10 most similar text, it will send to video selectors and context selectors. These two selectors will go back to the vector database and find if and try to find the if there's potential video answers, and also context of the vectors that we found in our vector search. So we are going to these two selectors later on. So after these two selectors, we're going to generate video answers and also the text answers. So in the context selectors, the ChatTA will try to find the context of vectors we found in our vector search. We're going to send those text chunks to our models. The models will generate text answers. We are going to combine the text answers and video answers and form the final response to students. This is the basic loop of how ChatTA works. And then we go into details about video selectors and context selectors. So here we have a video selectors. Input of the video selector is text chunks, not vector. So in vector search, as I mentioned before, in vector search, we not only find the vectors and also their corresponding text chunks. So the input of the video selector is the text chunk. And then we go back to the database. The database looks like this. This is the index. This is the text chunks. This is the vectorized text. These are all vectors, and this is the video link. So this video link has a timestamp. So if you click the video link which has the timestamp up, it will directly jump into the point that the videos talk about this part of the text. So these texts are basically the transcript of this video. Once we have the text chunks, we go back to the database, we find the text chunks, and then check if there is a video link. So if there's a video link, that means we can generate video answers. So the database will send the corresponding video link back to the video selectors, and the video selectors will produce the video answers. And in the front end, we're not going to show only the video link. We're going to show the actual videos with the timestamp that. So the actual videos talks about the questions and the answer. So we'll directly jump to the answers at the point of the videos which explain which answer the students ask questions. So the context selector has the same input of as video selector, which is text chunks. So after the context selectors receive the text chunks, it will also go back to the database, and it will try to find the context of that, the vectors that we found in vector search. For example, if 1026 is the text chunks we found in the vector search, we are going to take the text chunks before this one, before the vectors we found in vector search, and also the text chunks after these text chunks. So basically we are going to generate 3 text chunks or vectors we found in vector search, and then we combine this to bigger text chunks, send it back to the context selectors, and the context selectors will send these bigger text chunks to our large language models to generate text answers. So the reason that we create these context selectors is because the way we store our data, as you can see that we chunk these text, we cut this text, and you can see there's incomplete words. So for example, 1027 in this text chunk is the first word is techniques, but since like something, the techniques is incomplete. So we need the context selectors to complete the sentences. And also because the vector search find the top 10 most similar text chunks. For example, if the vector search found this one, the 1026, this text chunk, and also the vector search found the very first vectors and text chunks. These 2 first text chunks and these 1026 text chunks may not making sense if you combine these 2 together, because they may be from different source. They may be from different knowledge source. So they're not really making sense. We want to make our answers more reasonable and more accurate. So we want to find the previous text chunks and the text chunks after these text chunks, combine it to our bigger text chunks. This is how ChatTA works. Thanks.